would be an adjustment period, but do you have to fight some frustration offensively on just the inability you've had here in these last few games to move the ball consistently and score touchdowns?
Yeah, I mean, it's always frustrating, when you come out of a game and you haven't scored a touchdown. So many pieces on the offensive side of the ball who think they're more than capable of scoring a touchdown every game or more. So, yeah, there's some frustration there.
Amari, how would you describe the differences that you've noticed between Cooper and Garrett?
They're pretty similar in some aspects of their game. I think with their delivery, how they throw the ball, they're both, assertive in the huddle. They don't seem to, stutter much or anything like that. Like I said, they're on their P's and Q's. They know exactly what they need to do. As far as, when the play is told to them and they tell it to us in the huddle. So yeah, I would say they're more similar than they are different.
Amari, if Zeke's slowed down or not available with that hamstring this week, do you feel like the receivers need to pick up even more slack, or y'all are going to do the same either way?
You said, do I feel like the receivers are going to pick up?
If Zeke's hamstring slows him down this week, is it even more important for you guys to produce as a receiving core?
I don't really know his status, but I think, Rico and Tony, I think they're more than capable of, handling the load.
Amari, you've played some games. You played a game in an empty stadium in Seattle. You played in front of a small crowd in Philly. How much of a difference, or how different are these road games in this environment?
I would just say it's obviously different from, a crowd aspect, and, the crowd's they can't be into it. You don't hear much noise. But I don't know if that's good or bad for the opposing team, for the visiting team. But yeah, it's just different in that way, that you don't hear much noise. I guess, for me, I can't speak for everybody else, but I feel like I get to focus in more on just the game instead of all the other outside factors.
I know this is kind of a tough one to ask because you haven't had Dak and there's been so much change on the offense, but in a quieter stadium, is it easier to get through all the mechanics of an offense and with having to worry less about noise? Can you get into everything you want? Can you communicate the way you need to at the line of scrimmage?
Yeah, that's what I was trying to get to saying. I think the communication is a little bit better when you're on the road and you don't have that crowd, because we can all hear what the quarterback is saying, and we can translate it verbally. Like if I'm in the slot and I have to translate it to the outside receiver, it's easier. So yeah.
Amari, on a week like this with the election and the wait, how much do you guys talk about that around the locker room? I know you were posting a little on social media earlier this week just about what your thoughts on the process were, your questions.
You said, I couldn't hear you at the end.
How much around the building this week do y'all talk about what's going on in the country right now with the wait for the election results?
Yeah, we talk about it a little bit. I guess anybody who's interested in the election, they feel free to talk about it around the locker room, and they do it.
I know you posted earlier this week on Instagram about the Electoral College. Have you had some interesting conversations about that with people?
Not in the building, no, but on social media, yeah. Just the questions that I posed and answered.
Have you spoken with Andy since he fell ill? And you updated on how he's doing?
No, I haven't spoken to him.
Amari Cooper mentioned to us that he felt like the chemistry with y'all came back more quickly than he expected. Would you agree with that? And how long does it take to reacclimate to a quarterback that you've worked with before, but not in the last several months?
Yeah, it seems like he picked up right where he left off. Like I said before, he's on it. It seems like he's been with us the whole year in terms of him knowing all the plays, and he didn't have a learning curve coming in with the first day we saw him. So it seems like he's always been here.
It's been about close to a month that you have not had Dak Prescott. Is it still hit you? Is it still shocking that you don't have him? Or is it this is the NFL, we have to move on quickly?
I mean, obviously we know he's not. We know he's not available. We all realize that he got injured and he's out for the year. So now it's not shocking. I mean that's just the scenario, and we have to kind of move on to the next guy and try to succeed with him.
Amari, how difficult is it in a game to not only have different quarterbacks all the time, but to know that you could be running 20, 30 routes in a row and you might not get the ball thrown to you even once?
I mean, obviously that's not the ideal scenario for a receiver. We want to get the ball every play. That's just the type of mentality that we have to have because we know and we understand that we can make plays to change the game. So, that's just the way I go about it. Every route I run, I expect to have the ball.
The trade deadline was this week. I was just curious, as someone who,